What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
This is my top 10 movie list of 2019. I love movies. I've watched hundreds of them this year, and this is my top 10. Let's get into it with number 10, The Farewell, with Awkwafina, a little independent movie, just a really good, heartwarming film about her going back to China, her and her family going back to China to pretend they're having a wedding. But meanwhile, they all know that their grandma is dying, and it's Chinese culture not to tell people when they're terminally ill. And there's this whole ruse to see her one last time through the veins of a wedding that is fake. Just a good movie, good drama, great performance from Awkwafina, who I think probably had a breakout year this year. Number 9, The Lighthouse, just aesthetically crazy. Probably not a movie I'm going to need to watch again, but just from the 4:3 aspect ratio is shot in, the really grayscale, the black and white performances were all great. Just a crazy movie about what happens, just reasons why isolating humans is not a good thing. Whether it be in prison or in real life, people go crazy when they don't have interactions, especially somewhere where the sea is rough. So The Lighthouse is my number 9. Number 8 is Booksmart, just a fun movie, kind of like the female version of what is it? Superbad. Great, also directorial debut for the director, who I was confusing with the actress who played Captain Marvel, but is definitely a good movie. Number 7, a French film, Climax, just a crazy horror film where a dancing troupe is doing their last rehearsal before going on their American tour, and one of the dancers spikes the punch with acid, with LSD, and nobody knows about it, and it's just a slow, just people start going crazy, and it's just an awesome kind of horror type of film that nobody's talking about, and everybody should go see. Climax. Number 6, of course, Uncut Gems, with Adam Sandler probably putting up his best performance of his career, for sure his best performance of his career. A great movie, top to bottom. The visual aesthetic of it, the score, the frenetic craziness, the ride of stress that you go on watching Uncut Gems. Just top to bottom, a great movie. Number 5, a movie that I saw twice in theaters, and we'll watch it many more times once it hits VOD. John Wick 3. Just going each version of John Wick, getting crazier and crazier. This one with an amazing knife fights. Horses are used as a weapon. Amazing set pieces with dogs, with like attack dogs, and just accurate gun usage, gunplay. Just a great action franchise that I love, and can't wait for Keanu Reeves Day when Matrix 4 and John Wick 4 both come out. We still have to wait 2021, I guess that's coming out. So got to wait a while for it, but it'll be well worth it. I enjoy the franchise, and Keanu Reeves is the shit. Number 4 is The Joker, with just an amazing performance, as always. Really, he nails it with Joaquin Phoenix playing the Joker. Kind of one of the best Scorsese films of the movie, despite Scorsese not being anywhere on my list. Joker, I think, was just a great film, had a visual style that called back to the 70s, which was a very rebellious time in filmmaking, and I think this film was very similar in tone and in message, very much like a Taxi Driver, or the Last Comedian, the King of Comedy. A great movie. I loved it, and watched that one twice in theaters also. But just a great performance from Joaquin Phoenix, and a great movie. But the best comic book movie ever made, in my opinion. And it's crazy when people don't like it. And it just boggles the mind. So number 3 of my top 10 of 2019 is Knives Out. Rian Johnson, written and directed. The guy that made the best Star Wars film, in my opinion, came up and made the best whodunit ever made. It is a story about a mystery about who killed the patriarch of the family. And despite finding out early on in the story who actually killed who caused the murder, who murdered the victim, even though you don't know, and the mystery it's such a good movie from top to bottom. That's why it's my number 3 of the year, Knives Out. I will probably go see that again before it leaves theaters. But yeah, go watch Knives Out. It's a perfect movie to watch for anybody. It's just a great mystery, great acting. The story's great. All the characters are poignant and timely. But I loved it. Great movie overall, Knives Out. My number 2 movie of the year, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Quentin Tarantino with, I believe, his second to last film that he's supposedly going to do. I loved it. I think Brad Pitt had a great year. Ad Astra didn't make my list, but it was also another great movie. Great performance from Brad Pitt. But Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, saw this movie twice. The first time, I didn't know what it was about. One thing about this year is that I've started to avoid trailers, and it has improved my movie-going experience because there's been a few movies that have been completely spoiled by watching the trailers. If not for just fun moments in the movie, but the entire plot of the film in general being spoiled. So, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, just a great one. Tarantino always does it. It's one of my favorite Tarantino films. I think it's just him showing his growth as an artist and his ability to tell stories and divert expectations. Just such a good, and God, what's his name? Fucking the other guy, the other actor in that. I'm blanking on his name. Anyway, he did a great performance also. And I love that movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, my number 2 of the year. And my number 1 movie of 2019 is Parasite by Chan-wook Ho, Bong Joon-ho. I should have pulled all this stuff up before. But just it's one of those movies, kind of similar to Uncut Gems in a way, where it's a ride. Like there's ups and downs, and Knives Out is very similar to that. Knives Out, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, all kind of cinematic rides where you're going with this. I didn't know what Parasite was about. Heard many people say it was good, and decided to go see it, and it finally became available anyway. And it was just from top to bottom an amazing movie. It's a Korean director, Korean actors, so it's subtitled, but it's so well done. There's like hilarious moments, there's dramatic moments, there's horror moments, there's suspense moments. That this movie has like touches on almost every emotion you could possibly have in a movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood does a similar thing where there's a lot of comedy. Joker, there's a lot of comedy, I think, a lot of dark comedy in Joker. But Parasite, I think, is just from the performances to the writing, the story itself is one of the most original things out there. I love original stories. So yeah, Parasite, my number 1 movie of 2019. I highly recommend everybody go check it out if you haven't already. But yeah, that's my top 10 list of 2019. Some honorable mentions. Crawl, which was just a crazy fun movie about flooding happening in Florida and a daughter going to save her dad. Meanwhile, alligators or crocodiles, I forget which of the two, are trying to kill them. And it's just a really fun suspense it's just like a nonstop action ride from beginning to end. And it was just pulled together, just a couple actors, but the set pieces were amazing, and it's just a really fun movie. So go check out Crawl. And then Guava Island. I believe it's a short film, but just a really good kind of musical moments also, but just a really fun movie that I think is an Amazon original. So yeah, Guava Island and Crawl are my two honorable mentions for 2019. But a good year of movies overall. It was fun putting the list together. A little bit difficult, but I'm really happy with how the year turned out in movies and cinematic history. It was a great capper on the year. And yeah, so that's my top 10 movies of 2019. New episodes of The Ray Taylor Show come out every single day. Subscribe on IGTV, YouTube, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Go buy my artwork over at InspiredDisorder.com and save 25% when you use coupon code RTS. Follow me on social media at Ray Taylor. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out!